The people who cut off their families are usually labeled as angry, cold, or resentful. But have you ever noticed how calm they seem after they leave? We're taught from childhood that family is everything. Blood is thicker than water. You forgive, you tolerate, you stay. But what happens when staying costs you your sanity? There are 4 types of people who make this choice, and every one of them had to learn the same truth. Sometimes, silence is the only form of safety. Let's start with the one nobody understands. The invisible child. They grew up in the same house as everyone else, yet somehow felt like a ghost. Their siblings were celebrated. Their emotions were ignored. Their achievements barely acknowledged. They learned early that their presence didn't matter unless they were useful. So they became the helper, the fixer, the one who asked for nothing in return. But here's the cost of being invisible. You don't just fade from others. You fade from yourself. One day, you realize you've spent your entire life trying to earn love that was never coming. So you stop trying. You leave. Not out of anger, but because staying means continuing to disappear. Cutting off contact isn't revenge. It's finally allowing yourself to exist. Then, there's the second type. The scapegoat. No matter what went wrong in the family, it's somehow traced back to them. Too sensitive, too difficult, too much. The family needed someone to carry the dysfunction so they wouldn't have to face it themselves. Psychologically, this is called projection. After years of being told you're the problem, you start to believe it. Until one day, you don't. You step back, and from a distance, you finally see it clearly. The chaos didn't start with you. It just needed you to continue. So you stop participating, and for the first time in your life, you feel light. The third type hits differently. The parentified child. These are the people who raise themselves. And often their siblings too. Mom was overwhelmed, dad was absent, so they stepped in. They paid bills at 16, managed emotions that weren't theirs, held the family together while their own childhood quietly disappeared. Studies in developmental psychology show people raised this way often grow up with anxiety and chronic guilt, because they were taught their worth comes from being needed. So when they finally choose their own life, the family calls them selfish. They're not abandoning anyone. They're just done being the parent they never had. And finally, the fourth type. The one who tried everything. They didn't walk away easily. They set boundaries, tried therapy, had the hard conversations, gave chance after chance. But some families don't want healing. They want control. And when you refuse to shrink anymore, you become the villain. So you leave. Not because you stopped loving them, but because you finally started loving yourself. Here's the truth. Most people won't say out loud. Cutting off your family doesn't mean you're broken. It means you refuse to keep breaking. You chose peace over performance, silence over suffering. Yes, there are holidays that sting, the ones that are supposed to be about togetherness, moments where you question your choice. But then, you remember what it felt like to apologize for existing, to beg for scraps of affection, to carry weight that was never yours to hold. And you realize something painful, but freeing. You're not missing your family. You're missing the idea of what a family should have been. Which type are you? Or maybe you know someone who fits one of these. Either way, if you walked away, you're not cold. You're just done being burned. And that takes more strength than most people will ever understand. If you've ever wondered why you feel emotions too deeply, this video on the left will help you understand yourself better. On this channel, we explore a kind of psychology that doesn't judge you. It explains you. Tap the like button. If this helped you understand yourself and others a little better, hit subscribe. If you want to keep going deeper, I'll see you in the next video.